What is up, everybody? We are live. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. What a day to be in crypto. Holy smokes. We are at all-time highs. Look at that. I got my one follower back on Twitter. We're back up to 22. That's fantastic. I'm still convinced my son is trolling me. That's the only explanation for this. But yeah, crypto, all-time highs. Crazy night. Crazy morning, really. All hype on the Coinbase IPO, I'm sure. Well, let's jump right into it. What do we got here? Coin market cap. Always a good place to start. Look at that. Overall market cap, $2.18 trillion. Wow. Bitcoin right now, go away thing. Bitcoin's sitting at $63,204. Not at that high. We've come down just a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Ethereum, $2,302. Beautiful. Binance, taking a bit of a breather today, down almost 5%. That's okay. That has been on a tear for the past week. It could use a little timeout. XRP up 31%. Holy smokes, $1.82. We took our position in XRP back at $1. And it's still going. I did take some profit today, but we'll go into that when we get into the charts. Let's see. Let's move into the news. What do we got? Bitcoin, stocks, and gold rise over the dollar after inflation report. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics released the latest consumer price index Tuesday morning. Price inflation in March was slightly higher than expected according to the latest CPI figures. The SPX index and Bitcoin made all-time highs today. Bitcoin stocks and gold continue to show strength after the announcement, pointing to inflation concerns in the market. Obvious inflation reports, right? Or obvious inflation concerns. You'd have to be blind to not see prices going up all around you right now. March CPI slightly stronger than expected at 2.6% versus the 2.5 estimate, says Liz Ann Saunders on Twitter. Thanks, Liz Ann. And that's our inflation news for the day. HSBC confirms banning customers from buying MicroStrategy shares due to Bitcoin concerns. HSBC has confirmed banning customers from HSBC Invest Direct from buying MicroStrategy shares due to Bitcoin concerns. HSBC has no appetite for direct exposure to virtual currencies and limited appetite to facilitate products or securities that derive their value from VCs, an HSBC spokesperson told the blog. Wow. Limiting customers from buying shares in a company because they hold Bitcoin on their books. I don't think HSBC is going to come out on the wrong side of history on this one. Not a good move. But I guess when you've built your entire business on the dollar, or I guess in their case the pound, I believe they're a British bank, then yeah, I could see you having an issue with cryptocurrencies. But to limit your customers from buying shares, that's a bit much, I think. Moving right along. Court denies SEC's request for seeking years of financial records from Ripple executives. There's our Ripple CTO, Mr. David Schwartz. Real reputable looking guy, right? Wouldn't you trust him? A judge has granted a motion to dismiss the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's request to peer into years' worth of financial records belonging to Ripple executives. A court document from Judge Sarah Netburn filed on Friday shows the SEC's request for 8 years of financial data belonging to Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson has been denied. CEO Garlinghouse and Executive Chairman Larson asked the courts to quash the request by securities regulator last month, labeling the request as a wholly inappropriate overreach. The development means Ripple has scored a second victory in its fight against the regulator effort after having won the right last week to look into the SEC's internal communications over how it classifies cryptocurrency as a security. Netburn said the SEC's request for personal financial records outside those belonging to transactions relating to XRP, up 31.5%, that were already promised by executives was irrelevant and disproportional to the needs of the case. The SEC shall withdraw its request for production seeking the individual defendant's personal financial records and withdraw its third-party subpoenas seeking the same, wrote NetBurn. However, should the discovery progress to the point where SEC uncovers evidence demonstrating Garlinghouse and Larson lied about their XRP transaction records, NetBurn said the regulator may renew its application. In December, the SEC sued Ripple, Garlinghouse, and Larson, alleging the company and its executives had sold XRP to retail investors in direct violation of the U.S. federal security laws. We've been following XRP for the past I've been following it personally for the past couple of weeks, at least been in, I don't know if you want to call it investing. We've put a bet on it. Let's call it that. That's a much better way to put it. But this was the fundamentals behind that play. There's a lot of shadiness happening around the SEC and Ripple right now. There's a lot of speculation to what this was all over, but to that extent, there is also a lot of shadiness around the executives too, as far as I'm concerned. If there wasn't this story and this momentum behind the coin itself, I wouldn't even give it the time of day, to be perfectly honest. But it has the momentum, it has a story with it, so I'm a bettor. That's your Ripple news. Moving right along. Ethereum Lab Consensus raises $65 million from JP Morgan and MasterCard. The Ethereum incubator would use the proceeds to build products in Web3 and DeFi. Ethereum incubator and blockchain technology company Consensus today announced the final close of its $65 million round. It said in a release to CryptoSlate. There's the tweet. So that's huge. MasterCard getting into the game now. First it was Visa, now it's MasterCard. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just another step in the mass adoption here, right? MasterCard in the game. Good for them. I think my debit card's a MasterCard, so that's good for me. Yay for school. Moving along. Premier League Soccer Club inks deal to receive performance bonuses in Bitcoin. Southampton FC extended their sponsorship deal with sportsbet.io with an option to receive performance-based bonuses in Bitcoin. Southampton FC has extended its partnership with sportsbet.io as its main club sponsor. The deal includes the option for the club to be paid performance-based bonuses in Bitcoin. Interesting. So the better they play, the more Bitcoin they get. Pretty cool. Mass adoption. Moving along. India is back in the news. What are you gonna say about India? India's crypto bill will protect investors from volatility, claims their finance minister. In the latest development of India's crypto bill saga, the country's finance minister has shared a few more details about the country's long-planned legislation. In brief, India's finance minister said the forthcoming crypto bill will protect investors from crypto's volatility, because we need governments to protect us from ourselves. The government may be considering circuit breakers, in quotes, India's crypto representatives told Decrypt. Circuit breakers. I'm familiar with circuit breakers. We saw circuit breakers in the GameStop saga when we woke up and we were not allowed to buy any more GameStop. Remember that? That was a circuit breaker, in quotes. India. The capital of crypto FUD is what they just need to rename themselves. But, I guess they're attempting... I don't know. It all sounds terrible to me. Moving along. This one's funny here. This one made me laugh. NVIDIA targets $150 million revenue from the new Ethereum mining processor. The graphics card manufacturer has raised its 2022 first quarter revenue estimate for its recently released crypto mining product. I guess that's the chip. NVIDIA has raised its Q1 2022 revenue for its new crypto mining-centric product to $150 million. According to the chip maker, the overall demand for its products remained very strong. I guess nobody told NVIDIA that Ethereum's moving to proof of stake and the miners are toast. They probably should have done their research before making a $150 million investment. Look into the fundamentals, NVIDIA, for crying out loud. Moving along. A physical Litecoin ETF is coming to Germany's whatever that word is, Xterra exchange. A Litecoin ETF is launching tomorrow in Europe as demand for the digital silver picks up. Who was it that was real bullish on Litecoin just recently? Was that Journey? It was either Journey Crypto or Nick, Data Dash himself. One of the two was bullish on Litecoin. I can't remember. ETC Group, a specialist provider for cryptocurrency-backed securities, said it would list the physical Litecoin exchange-traded product, or ELTC, on Deutsche Börse's Xterra on Wednesday, as per a release. It follows on the success of the group's Bitcoin product, BTCE, which reached over $1 billion in assets in just 7 months since listing, proving the growing demand for products that enable investors to dabble in cryptocurrencies minus the safety and regulatory concerns. Poorly structured sentence, or I can't read, one of the two. I don't know too much about ETPs and what they're doing over there because, of course, America is late to the game. I need to do some more research into that. But, I mean, it can only be good, bringing in more people, giving people the ability to buy Litecoin and Ethereum and Bitcoin, it sounds like, through the old ways of doing things. Personally, I would just say go buy Litecoin, but I get that may not be an option for some people for reasons that are still hard to explain and comprehend. Anyway, Bitcoin traders seek further upside exposure, pushing future premiums higher. Bitcoin futures traders are becoming more bullish with extreme upside leverage. I put this in here, threw this into the rundown, because what do we know about futures? Futures drive markets. It doesn't matter which market it is, the stock market, derivative, it doesn't matter. The futures drive the markets. If you want to know what Bitcoin's going to do next month, look at the futures. Look at the options activity. I mean, that's really what drives the markets more than anything. It's not you and I buying spot. It's the damn futures. And I think anyone that was around in 2017, I wasn't one of them, but from the stories I've heard, the horror stories, that it definitely seems like the day that Bitcoin futures were released through the Chicago Mercantile, or CME, was really the day the bull market ended, at least in 2017. So, it's paper Bitcoin. That's my problem with it. Futures drive the markets. I have my own problem with futures, but hey, people are making a lot of money in futures. Maybe I'm just salty because I'm not one of those people. I buy spot like a poor person. Anyway, moving along. What Coinbase going public means for Bitcoin. Coinbase is set to go public in a highly anticipated direct listing on the NASDAQ. Here's what the experts say about its potential impact on Bitcoin. That's tomorrow, guys. I don't know what time it starts trading, and usually they'll give us a time, and 2 hours later it might start trading. These things are always a little finicky. The direct listings might be a little different. I can't remember the last direct listing I was a part of. Anyway, Coinbase is set to go public April 14th in a highly anticipated direct listing on the NASDAQ. Fun fact, Coinbase's revenue is actually more than the entire NASDAQ combined, or something like that. I have to pull up the exact data point on that, but it's something that made me chuckle. But yes, Coinbase going public tomorrow. Experts have weighed in on what this means for Bitcoin. On April 14th, the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase goes public by a direct listing on the NASDAQ. For the crypto industry, it is a milestone on the road towards mainstream acceptance. The first major cryptocurrency business to go public with an estimated valuation of $100 billion. What does Coinbase's public listing mean for Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency flagship asset? The popular answer is that Coinbase's public listing can only be a good thing for Bitcoin. the latest in a long line of high-profile events that validate the cryptocurrency against its naysayers. It is a watershed moment for the cryptocurrency industry and speaks to a more mainstream adoption on the horizon, says Daniel Ives, managing director at Wedbush Securities. Coinbase is the poster child of the crypto ecosystem, and this listing will be closely watched by the street to gauge its appetite. Again, why not just buy Bitcoin? I get it, but why not just buy Bitcoin? That cuts both ways, of course. If Coinbase's listing proves to be a flop, other crypto companies who've mulled the idea of going public could put their plans on hold. They include rival crypto exchange Kraken, which is reportedly eyeing a direct listing in 2022, and Bitcoin custodian Bakkt, which is planning to go public via a special purpose acquisition, or SPAC merger. Ives also added that given the still nascent and volatile nature around Bitcoin, we believe less than 5% of the companies will head down the Bitcoin investment path in some capacity over the next 12 to 18 months, but also said this move could markedly higher as more regulation and acceptance creeps into the space. Coinbase going public is good for Bitcoin, they say. I think it is good for Bitcoin. I think it's good for the entire crypto industry. I do have my concerns going into tomorrow that we are going to very much run into a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I do fear that the second Coinbase goes public and starts trading on the market, I think we are going to see some sort of a sell-off there, because the thing about a direct listing is anyone who is able to get in on the Coinbase IPO before it starts trading, the private deals that us poors can't be a part of, they can dump their shares the second it hits the market, unlike in a normal IPO listing. So that is a worry, especially considering, who knows, there's probably a number out there we could look up. You know, they got their Coinbase shares pretty darn cheap compared to what it's going to start trading for tomorrow. So be careful of that, and I worry that as far as the crypto markets go, again, and we've seen it over and over again in the crypto space, it's something very common. We're going to buy the rumor and we're going to sell the news. I think we're going to see a tremendous sell-off tomorrow all across the board. I think tomorrow is going to be a red day across the board. I don't think this is the end of the bull market. I don't think we're moving into major correction territory. Remember, we just hit all-time highs here. I think we are probably going to correct at least 10%. It could be a 20% correction on the board. And if you're holding altcoins right now, it could be far, far more. So just be wary of that. All today, for the past 8 hours, I have been trimming positions down. As the markets continue to move up today, I've been trimming positions, taking more and more profit as we go. And I will continue to do so until I get my positions down to a place where if the market does correct 20% from here, I'm not losing sleep or, it's taking protection. All right, let's get into the charts, guys. Here we are. Going a little long today. Sorry about that. It is a big news day. All right, here it is. The beast, Bitcoin. What a chart. Give me just a second here. Let's close out some of these tabs. I'm getting a little bit of lag. You might even be able to hear my graphics card just screaming in the background right now with everything open. Working on, getting a little better setup here. I'm sure you noticed the better layout we've got. Or the little overlay we've got going in our little ticker here. Hopefully it's working. It froze up on me yesterday. Anyway, Bitcoin sitting at all-time highs here. This is our 4-hour chart going all the way back to October. And I mean, how impressive is that? My goodness, if you had bought in October, what would you be sitting at right now? Where's our measuring stick? Sorry, I'm getting just an absolute ton of having problems. We'll come back to that. Struggle is real. If you're listening, the struggle is real. Look at this though, Ethereum. My goodness. Also at all-time highs. Give it a reload. When in doubt, restart the darn thing. Maybe. Maybe. Stay with me. Bear with me here. I'm sorry. Live television, folks. Live television. This is how it goes. It's how you roll with the punches, right? It's how you recover. Alright. We're still getting just a tremendous amount of lag here. I don't know what's going on. That's unfortunate. We just want to look at charts, right? We just want to look at pretty charts. Come on. Maybe I got too many ribbons going on. Maybe that's the problem. I was really excited about showing you my pretty ribbons too. That help us? Alright, well, as you can see, yeah, we're getting a little bit of juice here. Okay. Alienware, what a joke. Probably gonna get an angry letter now. Alright, looking at the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin, you can see we set an all-time high here at $63,705. We came back down to the 62.5 range, and we are consolidating right now in between in that range, which is right where we want to be after popping up like, I mean, look at that, guys. Look at that. What a little pop. Ethereum, it's going to be about the same. It does look to me, though, like Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, at least on the micro scale here. I've seen it have a little broader moves compared to Bitcoin. So it might be trying to make a real move here. Something to definitely keep an eye on. We've been talking about sentiment changing back from Binance to Ethereum. Today we're really seeing that with the Binance cooling off quite a bit, almost 5%. So speaking of Binance, let's take a look. Yeah, you can see there's the dip, if you will. But I mean, after this kind of move, a little bit of dip is okay. Just a little bit of dip I'm alright with. Binance, do not sleep on Binance. It is still an absolute beast. I think just with all the news today around the Coinbase listing and then seeing Bitcoin hit all-time highs this morning, I think people are just taking some profit off of their BNB and they are moving it into some of these top 3, top 5 coins just to catch a little bit of this movement, catch the momentum, if you will. Doing just what I've done, you know, taking profits, getting ready for what tomorrow might hold. Any smart trader would, I think. XRP, we talked about this in the news. Look at XRP today. Look at that. Remember where we got in on XRP? We started looking at XRP all the way back at $1. Which is, I guess, looking at this chart, doesn't look that impressive on the 4-hour here, but considering where it came from anyway, all the way down here at 44 cents. You know, personally, I felt like $1 was a safe place to get in, you know, once we broke that, and then watched it hold that support right at $1 too. That was the big key driving factor for me. But like I said, guys, I've been taking profit on this bad boy throughout the day today, just because, I mean, this is an absolute monster move. I didn't have that big of a position in XRP to begin with, just because the risk is there. But enough, I mean, we made some good profit here, and there's nothing wrong with taking profits. If XRP breaks above $2 and we hold $2, I might consider, if we put a floor in at that $2 range, just like we did at $1, I would consider taking another position and see how high we can take that up. Of course, we would be trading with a stop loss on this. Cardano, let me grab a drink here real quick. Oh, excuse me. Cardano, looking good. Cardano has just broken out from this range right here at $1.34. So these aren't all-time highs, but when it listed on Coinbase, we covered this the other day, you had some very funky movements there and some arbitrage opportunities that were played. when it shot up almost to $2. $1.87 is what it hit. So that's Coinbase's listing all-time highs. You wouldn't see this chart on Binance or any other exchange. Probably ought to be looking at the Bitcoin. Let's actually do that. That's actually a good lesson for people, I think. We need to look at the ADA Bitcoin chart. What this is, we are actually going to compare ADA to Bitcoin. We want the Binance one though. Let's see. You want to go where the volume is, right? And Binance being the largest exchange on the planet, that's where the volume will be. ADA Bitcoin on the Binance exchange. That's the chart we want. So let's add that to our watch list. Now we can get a real macro view of Cardano. Oh, I lied to you. They do have that massive spike on there. So here's Cardano. Here's our chart. You can see we topped out Cardano's all-time highs. Excuse me. Right here at the 3186 Satoshis. It's always a little confusing for me to look at it in Satoshis as opposed to, you know, dollars that I'm used to, but hopefully that changes over time. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a little bit of charting in here. You can see, excuse me, Cardano has put in just an absolute monster floor here. Look at this. And this is from March 21st to today. So, wait, was that March 21st? Sorry, March 15th to today. I was looking at the 21. That's the year, you dummy. We are in a bit of a downtrend here, so that is something to take note of. But if we get our technicals going and we draw any sort of trend line here off of that all-time high, you can see we've got a breakout. And that is a clear breakout. Now we did have a fake out breakout right here. That's a technical term, by the way, a fake out breakout. And we came back down. We actually rode this trend line all the way. Here, get in tighter here so you can see it. We rode this trend line all the way down. But then as soon as we tightened up and consolidated right here at this base, at this floor we put in, pop! You had a nice little pop up out of here. Now we haven't broken this previous high. We certainly haven't broken these previous highs, which we need to do for Cardano to really show some life in it. But what we're seeing right now is good to see. And the profits that I took earlier, I actually rolled a lot of those profits. About 75% of the profits that I've taken throughout the day, I have been rolling into Cardano, because this is a very, very bullish signal for me. When you get a breakout like this, and then it holds that breakout, those are times to buy. That is the time to pull the trigger. So, not trading advice, not telling you to go invest in Cardano. I'm simply telling you what I'm doing and the logic behind what I'm doing, and hopefully you can take the strategies that I use in trading and you can apply them to trades that you want to make. We are still holding our spark point, our SRK. We had a little bit of life in it yesterday, but we are definitely in a downtrend. Sorry, this was yesterday. Here is where we saw the real life in it. I thought we were going to get a great move up, but we've just been bleeding out ever since we took our position. And unfortunately, I took my position right here, thinking at that moment that this push up that we saw, we were going to hold this and we would continue to trend upwards. That was the thinking at the time. Obviously, that didn't play out. Not all trades work out the way you think they're going to. So what am I doing? Am I paper handing Spark Point? Am I unloading every token that I have? Freaking out? Absolutely not. I know that we are still in this area of consolidation. We are simply putting in this floor for our next leg up. You can see we had a nice run right here. Now we're in consolidation. This would actually be considered a downward the downward dog. No, I can't think of the exact chart pattern here. It's like a descending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. So once we get into an area of consolidation, I expect Spark Point to definitely take off. Now this is a low market cap token, which means there's not a lot of volume with this. So with that said, you don't get as clean of technicals, right, when you're dealing with a very low volume trade. So we're going to hold Spark Point, and we're going to see where it goes. We believe in the project. We think that of all I don't know why I use we like there's somebody else here with me. It makes me feel better. But we think that of all the DEX platforms on the Binance chain, all the decentralized exchanges on the Binance Smart Chain, I truly think that SparkPoint is simply the most reputable. One, it has the cleanest user interface out of all the DEXs I've seen on the Binance Smart Chain. The rest of them are simple Uniswap, clones, if you will. Not that SparkPoint isn't, but they've definitely taken their own design and they've ran with it. They've had an original thought, if you will. The team behind SparkPoint isn't anonymous. They've all revealed themselves. They're all very open in what they're doing. You can reach out to them right now if you wanted to. So I think that makes them the biggest player in the space. I really do. I think the potential for SparkPoint is 30. My personal price target would be $30 to $35, right where Uniswap is trading, because this is the Binance version for it. Even though PancakeSwap has all the spotlight right now, I think this particular DEX on the Binance Smart Chain is an easier investment for people who don't want to tell their friends that they've invested in Cake. So that's my thoughts on that. And speaking of my two favorite coins, Bake and Cake, what are they doing? You see, this is the run we've had since we first got in it, way down yonder. And now, just like BNB, we're consolidating today. We're taking a day off. And actually, Bake is, look at that. Look at that. It put in a floor just right where you'd think it would. My goodness, why didn't I have an alert set right here? I hope we get another buying opportunity. I will tell you right now, let's really get in here. Let me jump to the 5-minute. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm going to initiate another position in Bake. Let's take a look here. If I can get Bake at $1.74, you know what? I'd be a buyer of Bake at $1.77. I really would. If I can get Bake at $1.77, but there's already a double. We've already got a double bottom there. I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place a limit order at $1.77, and hope we can get it filled before this takes off again. Because this thing looks like it is just coiled up and ready to take the next leg up. So, I'm actually going to jot that down real quick. $1.77. We are going to make that trade as soon as we get done streaming here. Alright. Cake, what are you doing? Same thing. Well, let's jump to the 4-hour. Pretty sure we're still in... Excuse me. We are still in consolidation mode here. After Cake's run, yeah, look at that. Cake had this amazing run up, got a little bull flag, another run up, forming another bull flag. So, fantastic. Both of these are just looking incredible. This would have been the buying opportunity on Cake right there at 21.48, hitting this previous ceiling here, coming down, flipping it as support, and moving up from there. These charts are gorgeous. I will also be taking a position in Cake, it looks like. Where are we going to want Cake? We're going to want Cake right there at that 23, 29, 23.30 is where I'd be a buyer of Cake. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight, and we'll look to make those trades for tomorrow. Now, like I said earlier, with the Coinbase listing tomorrow, we want to be careful. We don't want to be taking large... We don't want to be YOLOing our entire portfolio into these coins right now. You know my strategy. We're going to take small bites. When we initiate a new position in something, we're going to take little small bites of it at a time, and we're going to grow that position as it goes. And we're going to take profits when we feel like it's getting too frothy. That is how we are successful. Engine. There was some news about Engine today. I don't know why I didn't put that in our rundown. I'll get that in there for tomorrow. Engine looking just super healthy as well. Seeing the same thing right now that we saw on Cake and Bake, where we came down to this previous peak, this previous area of resistance, flipped it, and have now made it support. So just really great to see. The whole market overall is just looking incredibly healthy, even at these overextended frothy levels. We are looking healthy. Even though we have these crazy runs, we're consolidating, we're taking breaths. These coins are taking turns with these crazy moves. Chainlink. Well, let's get rid of some of that mess. Chainlink had a nice little pop here. Is on the move. Looking to break all-time highs at $36.89 that it set all the way back in February. Interested to see where that goes. And look at the pattern. We've got a double bottom. We've got our W pattern. W's stand for win. Get our brush. We make a W. We do this, and then we take off. That is how these things go. Chainlink looks like it could be a great trade. If I was going to take a position on it, I would wait for Chainlink to break all-time highs, come down, flip support, and then make the move, right? That's what we're looking for, so something to watch. KuCoin. KuCoin. You know my story. You know I'm upset. Still haven't got my money back. I will keep you posted on that. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm screwing it all up. There we go. You go away. Alright, KuCoin. Here's our 4-hour charts. After this crazy move up, we've moved into consolidation, but something to worry about. Look at that. We've got a clear double top. That is a reversal pattern. I would not be surprised to see KuCoin come all the way down to this $10 range. That's going to be, gosh, that's going to be a 50% drop for some of you. Painful. Careful if you're holding KuCoin. We have a clear reversal pattern. Basic attention token, one of my favorites. What do I always say? It's the most used token in the entire cryptoverse. No token gets more used and abused than the basic attention token. I love it. And speaking of beautiful charts, God, look at this. Just incredible. We've come up, we've broken all-time highs, we've flipped support, put a base in, and it looks to me like basic attention token is ready to rumble once again. Let's go ahead, let's draw a trend line here. Let's show our ascending triangle pattern. Look at that. It looks like it could be breaking out right now. Basic attention token looks like it could be ready to break out right now. What did we do? We wicked above it. Found resistance there. We're going to come back down. We're going to hit our double bottom. We'll get support here. If we don't continue to push through anyway. With this double bottom, I would hope for it to push through. But if we don't, we'll come down, we'll continue to consolidate right in this area until we get our breakout, and that's what we're looking for. VeChain. VeChain was actually in the... Ooh, VeChain looking good. Oops. VeChain was actually in the news yesterday, and I missed it for you guys. Their chain, the VTHO token, it's weird. VeChain is a dual token, has a whole dual token system going, and their other token is VTHO. I think that's just like their utility chain token that's used on their actual blockchain network. It had some news that somebody was partnering with it. I'll look up the exact partner that they made, but it was a big deal, and that might be the reason why we're seeing VeChain pump really good right now. Let's jump into the 5 minutes, see exactly what it's doing, because these are all-time highs for VeChain. 15 cents. My goodness. I was holding VeChain at 13 cents. Why the hell did I sell it? Oh, that's why. I had to sell my VeChain to pay for the gas to get my damn money back from KuCoin. That's what it was. Sorry for the language. I'm so mad about it. Oh, that would have been so tasty. Look at the breakout. It broke right out from a previous trend line we'd drawn in. A previous ascending triangle, just like we knew it would. Moving along before I cry. Zilliqa. Up-and-coming blockchain that's actually got a lot of partners out there and is being used quite a bit. I've used Zilliqa for... What do I use Zilliqa for? I think Zilliqa is the wallet that I use for all my basic attention tokens. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's where all my BAT goes into, is my Zilliqa wallet. Something to keep an eye on. Chart wasn't too sexy by any means. It was, matter of fact, we've been in a pretty nasty well, let's jump to the 4-hour. Maybe I'm judging a book by its cover. Let's take a macro look here. I mean, yeah, I stand corrected. Look at that. it's having trouble flipping support here, which is concerning for me. I wouldn't be a buyer right now. I would want to see it really pop up above these previous highs and really hold this level, maybe even go up a little more here. But I mean, look at the trend though. The trend is your friend, and maybe this thing's just on a much slower grind. Yeah, although we could be trying to reverse here. I mean, you do see that it is kind of breaking it a little bit, but that's a pretty damn healthy chart. If you were looking for kind of a safer low, but low market cap, only at 20 cents a coin right now, that's a pretty safe uptrend if that was something you were interested in. Harmony. We've been going for about 40 minutes. I'll wrap this up. I'm so sorry. If you're still here listening to me ramble on, bless your heart. You have got just a heart of gold. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. Okay. Harmony. We hit these all-time highs. We're consolidating. Nothing to see there. OMG. Ew, you can see we were trading the holy snot out of this one. Let's clear that up. OMG had this massive run back here. We got in. We traded from here to that $10 range, and we moved into another trade because we were in that consolidation mode. And as you can see, that was a good idea because what happened? OMG put in a double top and has since corrected. So moving right along. Crow. What's Crow doing? On the 4-hour chart. Just want to grab a quick macro overlook of the rest of these. Bam. Crow consolidating, hasn't broke all-time highs, moving along. Mana, come on Mana, do something, give us something good. Mana's close back, we're getting back in there with its all-time highs. What was it trading at? $1.26, sitting at $1.09 right now. I think anything, if you ever get a chance to pick up Mana under $1, do it. Do it and buy as much of it as you can. Mana will be a very expensive coin one of these days. I guarantee it. Anytime it goes below $1, I pick up Mana. If only to take it into the metaverse and play with it. Injective Protocol, INJ. These guys are getting into the whole synthetics, doing synthetic versions of stocks, which we just saw. That was actually big news. I guess I didn't put that in our rundown. If you're still listening, back to the news. Binance has started trading Tesla tokens on the Binance Smart Chain. So you can actually buy the Tesla token right now on Binance. Not if you live in the United States. You have to live outside of the United States and China and a couple other places that actually do have, where you can actually buy Tesla stock. But the coin itself is actually pegged right at the price of Tesla. So pretty cool. Very, very cool. And this is what Injective's seeking to do as well. They've been working on it for a long time, whereas Binance, I swear, just snapped their fingers and made it happen. But yeah, that's the Injective play. They were also the ones that burnt that Banksy and then made an NFT out of it. A little strange, but, what are they going to do? Litecoin, that was in the news. Look at that. Litecoin at all-time highs right now at $260. Look at the pattern. Beautiful W pattern. What happens when we get a W? We go for the win. You got it. Not an investor in Litecoin, but definitely one to keep an eye on if you're interested in it. Look at that consolidation for Atom. Atom might be looking to make a big play here. Their all-time high, 26.64, sitting at 24.08. Keep an eye on Cosmos tonight. They might try to shoot back for all-time highs, and you can see when Cosmos makes a move, it really boogies. We went from $10 to $20 real quick. Something to keep an eye on. Double your money real fast. OGN, they have just been all over the news. I have the OGN platform. I actually have an Origin shop set up where you can go and check out some of my NFTs and stuff like that. I'll post a link one of these days when the shop actually opens. They've still got a long ways to go. They're not quite up to par yet for your average person to come in and start, using their platform. But they're getting there, and they just had a big release yesterday of some rapper I had never heard of. I think it was a rapper. They released some CD as an NFT yesterday on their platform. And they seem to be in the news almost every day. They also have a very, very active social media presence. I swear they're tweeting almost every 5 minutes, interrupting my live streams. But, you know, that's what you want to see in a project that's real committed, always putting out good news, always trying to move the ball forward. Definitely don't sleep on Origin Protocol. I wouldn't buy right now. Although, with this one, I have noticed it's hard to really find a good time to buy because the damn thing just keeps going. So this might be one to really, really put that whole dollar cost average strategy to play and just pick up, you know, $10, $20, $50, $100 at a time for a couple weeks until you build a strong position. Let's see, a couple more here and we'll wrap up. Going for 45 minutes. Such a big news day today. My goodness, we had no time for the charts. PHB, this was a small, low market cap play, highly risky, but I mean, look at the moves it's had, and we've gotten into a bit of a consolidation pattern here where it's been moving sideways the past few days. This coin currently trades at 3 cents. I had traded this from all the way down here at 0.008. I unloaded mine at 0.019. Made some pretty damn good money there, and yeah, it's just continued to go. So that might be one I might pick up here. Also has been kind of impervious to any down moves we've had in the market, any big pullbacks. It's kind of been impervious to. Filecoin, after its monster move, is still in consolidation mode. Celsius and the old Cell token. Look at that. Look at this move it had. This was kind of... I thought this was going to be the beginning of some sort of DeFi bull market that we were seeing that I think ended up really just being the whole Binance chain really taking off. But, I mean, there's something to be said here. That Celsius is a DeFi play. If you don't know what Celsius, it's a Swiss bank in your pocket. Look them up. You won't regret it. It's pure DeFi. And that was just an incredible move they had. I would be interested in picking up some Cell token myself, especially at this level where, look, we have flipped a previous all-time high and we have made it support, and we are currently consolidating at this area. So that's a very bullish signal. Great time to get in Celsius. Elrond and the E-Gold. What a project. Man, I had picked up some E-Gold right here. Literally right at this position. You can see right when I sold too. I paper-handed the snot out of E-Gold, and you'll see exactly why. I had picked up some E-Gold right here at this level. We're on the 4-hour charts. That's not as impressive as it was at the time when on the real micro scale. But I had bought right here, thinking we were in this ascending triangle pattern. We were in full consolidation mode. Thought this thing was going to rip. And it plummeted. It went from $1.39 all the way down to $1.31. I had put my stop loss at $1.35. So I completely got stopped out. Got so furious with this. Didn't even look over the next couple days what was happening, because as you know, anyone that knows my trading style, I don't look back. Once I make a trade and move on, I don't look back at that trade, at least not for a couple days. Otherwise, you just feel bad about yourself. But I'd gotten stopped out, didn't look back at the chart and realize that we had recovered incredibly and were now continuing the trend up, and then ended up breaking out and going off to just insane levels that I was not privy to, unfortunately, where we went all the way from 131 up to almost $250 a coin. Dogecoin. If you have any sort of alerts on your phone for price movements, your phone was blowing up all day today with this move. Dogecoin is currently almost 10 cents a coin. I mean, what are you gonna say? Did Elon tweet and I missed it? I don't know, but Doge is definitely pumping, and somebody pointed out earlier that this seems to be more organic growth in Doge. Does this look like organic growth to you? That is a pure parabolic move in Dogecoin. Alright, and per request, I did throw some boomer charts in here for those of you that are still in the boomer market and have not come over to the dark side yet. Here's your shares of GameStop. 4-hour chart. Looks like we've It's obviously, isn't it? Oh yeah, that is the all-time high. Hey, look, guys, that is where I sold my shares of GameStop, right here. That's where I sold. We bought right here. No, where'd we buy? We bought right at $80. So we bought our shares of GameStop at $80. I went to my buddy that day and I said, all right, we've got to buy shares of GameStop today. Told him the whole story of what was going on. We bought shares of GameStop. We went to the moon. I sold mine. I won't get into what happened with his, but anyway, we came down and now we're back up. But you can see, but look at the floor we put in on GameStop. If you're watching this, that's an impressive floor we put in over the past couple weeks. Hell, past month. Right there at $118, around that 120 range. It doesn't look like it wants to fall below that. So if you're interested in picking up some GameStop, I would be a buyer of GameStop at $120. I would set an order to buy GameStop at $120 right now, is what I would do. That's your GameStop chart. Here's your S&P. Boring grind up. Who wants to invest in that? Your NASDAQ. Is that all-time highs again? Yeah, NASDAQ still in that all-time high range. Oh, darn it. I was going to start the whole darn charting segment with this. I meant to do that. I forgot to move it to the top of the chart. This, the DXY, for those of you who don't know what the DXY is, this is the $1 index. What we're looking at here is the daily chart of your United States dollar. You can see back here in March when COVID hit, sorry, we can't use that word, when the pandemic hit, we saw the price of the dollar shoot up and then collapse. And we have been in this downtrend ever since. Now, as you can see, we did reverse the trend. Back here in January, the first of the year, the trend reversed. And now the dollar has been in this uptrend. So, what does that mean for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? The higher that the dollar rises, probably not bullish for Bitcoin, to be perfectly honest. That's probably not the best sign if we have the dollar go up. But the thing is that if we have the dollar going up, we know that it's being artificially pushed up by Jerome Powell and whatever witchcraft he's working, because the fact that we have printed more money in 2020 than we have in the past 100 years, and this chart isn't at zero, is a complete mystery in itself. So I will leave you with that. That's your food for thought for tonight, is why is the dollar going up when we have printed so much money in the past year? Simple supply and demand would say this price ought to be in the tank because we've devalued the market so much. But anyway, yep, that's all for my rant. I will leave you there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the past hour. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, drop a like, subscribe, ping the bell, all that jazz. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night. End stream.